Hello and welcome to Dreams of Wings. And so far we've had a special RAF issue. I don't know if it was a Mooney or a Bonanza, but maybe some of you didn't know that back in the day the RAF did experiment with some special kinds of GA aircraft to use as spotters in the search and rescue operation. And we also seem to have a drone of some sort that's appeared as well. But anyway, great to have you here. This is very much on the spur of the moment kind of stream. I'm conscious that I've not done much on the channel for a couple of weeks now, so I thought it'd be good to get a quick stream in there. And also, we're using the Random and Anywhere mod with the H145, but what we're going to do initially is not random. We're actually going to use it to create a custom mission, which is one of the other ways that you can use this, which is kind of cool. But anyway, this is the High Performance Group H145 in the livery of X-Ray Zulu 588, which was a RAF 202 Squadron Sea King, and it is that one. That's what she looked like back in the day. She was at RAF Lossiemouth, so we've got that accuracy in there. But of course, she wasn't an H145. But to hell with it. This wonderful repaint is in honour, and gorgeous repaint it is too. By I'm pretty sure it's Demo Designs. I've got a link in the video description to it anyway. But it is a beautiful repaint. For sure. Anyway, just in case you're interested, I put a link just before in the chat for the new Discord to come along and say hello. And without further ado, I think I should stop waffling and we should just get in this helicopter and get flying. So if I can remember where all my buttons are, because I'm a little bit rusty with this. So let's jump in the cockpit. No, let's jump behind. Let's try again. There we go. Oh dear. This does not bode well. Who have we got in front of us here? There we go. Right, got the head tracking working. Boom. There we go. So that's all good. The FPS is not too bad. I did test the new update yesterday and it did seem to be working quite well. What's interesting is over there, I'm just seeing we've got some floating bits and bobs. And we have floating personnel in front of us. Probably because I've got the Lossie Nick B007 Lossiemouth, and possibly they haven't, so we've got a slightly different mesh. But there we go. We have the latest in RAF search and rescue drones up ahead, so he's doing his thing. And let's get started. So I need to concentrate a little bit, so let's just pop out this. So first of all, and hopefully everything will work smoothly, things do seem to be working quite well at the moment, and I have just absolutely put the kiss of death on it. Last time I did one of these streams for the first time ever, it crashed. I had to crash the desktop, so that wasn't much fun. Right, here we go. So first of all, get the click spot, Random and Anywhere. That's the latest version for reference that I'm using. Okie doke. And then what we're going to have to do is jump up here. Well, let's just wait till that's done that thing. I know in the past sometimes if you put the aircraft battery on too soon, then it did mess with things a little bit. So let's go to single player, because that's what we're doing. Okay, and then I'm going to jump back up here. Let's have the battery on. Let's have some lights on. That's all going to start up. Have a look down here. Now we can stick our radio on. So this is the radio that connects us to the mission.
Hey, good morning all. Ready for the missions?
Certainly are. Where's the lads?
Hey Frank, good morning.
There they come. Here come the boys. Well done, chaps.
Good morning, Frank.
So this is still connecting up. We'll get a little message here in a second while I'm at it.
Hi, Captain. Helicopter is ready to fly. Logbook filled and signed.
Thank you, Frank.
If you need refueling, please ask.
Good lad. Proud of you.
Thank you, Frank. I'll check.
Yeah, if only my voice sounded like that. Thank you, Frank. My voice isn't quite as deep.
Ready to supply external power at your request.
Thank you, Frank. Right, quick check down here. So that's connecting, that's connected, that's all right. So what we're going to do slightly differently this time is we're going to go custom mission. Let me just actually lock off the head tracking while I do this, so it's a little bit easier. There we go. And oh, one other thing here actually, with this latest update, the custom registrations appear here, which is quite nice. Yes, just noticed Guy has put in the chat she is now G-Seek for our civvy friends. Marshall is a dashing young chap. The reason why he's saying that, in case you hadn't guessed, is because he's actually, I think he's actually one of the marshals, but he certainly works for historic helicopters, and this helicopter is now with them. But I think it's, is it, brain's gone. It's Marine 1, isn't it, Guy? That's what she looks like now, I believe. Right, let's have a look. So we're going to set a location. So we're going to go back up here, set custom location, and we're going to do some good old search and rescue. We're going to do the kind of mission that the Sea King quite possibly could have done out of Lossie back in the day, and we're going to go into the Cairngorm National Park because I love it. And if you've been on the channel before, you know that I've come here quite a few times. And I think, let's have a look. There's Loch Morlich. Let's dump it. Let's dump it somewhere here. There we go. We accept the destination. Let's just check. So that's okay. And then manual mission selection. So we're going to go no vehicles because we don't want that. Let's have a look. Go for 2. No, because that's not doing that. Just trying to remember now. God, I am rusty with this. So let's go that, and then we'll go 12. Let's see what we've got. Reported missing person during hiking. Search and rescue is required. So there you go. Classic kind of mission. So we'll go back to the main screen. And that's all good. We've got a location. That's good. Okay. Back to main screen. Do I have to do that again? There we go. Okay, there we go. Forgot to click that.
Finalizing setup. Stand by a moment.
She's now back in 202. Oh,
All cabin tasks
fantastic.
completed.
That's
Ready for
wonderful.
departure.
Okay, so at least one injured. Reported person during hiking. Search and rescue is required. Waiting info about rescue vehicles presence. That's absolutely fine. So we'll go to open on map. So this is where we're going to. And we can now get rid of that, center back on that, and now we can get things started. So if I switch the, there we go, switch that back on. Right, okay, are you ready to jump outside and do some work, big man? Yes, look at that. The determination in his eyes is quite moving. So let's pop up here and we'll have prime pumps on. The order in which you put your prime pumps on is the order in which your co-pilot will kind of give the call outs to start the engine. So I think last time I did 1, 2, so we'll go 2, 1.
Preparing for engine starting sequence. 2, 1.
Let's get some strobes on because we're going to start spinning things around. Quick look at everything else. Happy with that. Good God. The ghostly floating drone of Lossiemouth. Okay, so he's not given us a call out to start engine 2, but we will. It says cabin ready for takeoff, so that's good. That means the chaps in the back have done their thing. If you've watched this before, apologies if I start repeating stuff again, but just in case anyone hasn't seen it, the
GPU
brilliant,
disconnected. Ready to go. Good day.
the fantastic thing about this mod is it simulates all the different things that are going on. So it simulates the time it takes for the chaps in the back to get all their gear stowed, get themselves ready. It simulates Frank doing his thing. There he goes, taking his fire extinguisher for a walk. And it simulates the time that it takes at the accident
Engine
scene,
started successfully.
and
Moving to other engine.
also when you get to the hospital. Just keeping an eye on the instruments
Engine
there.
clear.
Now we can go for engine 2. M1 rising. TOT rising. Let's have a look for oil pressure is rising. We're also using Kicker's realistic voice mod and
All engines started successfully.
M. Gonzalez H145 sound mod as well. Just get that in. All the links to these are down below. Okay, so we've got a good start on engine 1 and 2.
Hold on. Performing leak checks.
Let's pop up here. He's doing the leak checks. He can do that while we get other things going. Be a bit embarrassing if you found a leak. LAVCS, and let's have Peter on. That's all good. I am going to put some instrument lighting on only because the weather looks a little bit dreary in the distance, so it doesn't hurt to have some lighting on. And let's get a little bit of heating on as well. Just keep everyone happy. Thank you, my friend. So that's him done.
Okay, all good.
Now, let's not forget to turn off the bloomin' TARS, or TARS, however you wish to pronounce it.
TARS. System test okay.
She likes TARS. We're going to inhibit it because, trust me, idiot, trust me, that when you're flying in a mountainous area it gets very irritating. This is the TDS GTN 750, GTN XI 750 I should say. We're not going to be using it today because we're using the missions, but it is a very nice piece of kit, so let's have that in there. No problems here, nothing giving us any warnings. We'll go quick pop up here. Yeah, that's all good. Just checking I've done something. Let's have both engines to flight. And we'll bring all our systems, autopilot systems into play. Quick look down here. I'll tell you what I do want to do. Let's set the QNH. So rather than me trying to break your neck by looking around, let me just lock off that again. No, try again. There we go. Right, let's have a look. Lossie. 1008. Slowly wind that down. I do like how DLSS gives you better frame rates, but the lag on the helionic system is a pain in the derriere. Okay, that's so good. Press the wrong button. Come back. Barrow. There we go. Didn't mean to do that. Now it's punishing me. There we go. Let's do that again. I accidentally clicked it so it went into standard barometric. There we go. That's all good. Right, quick look at the chat before we take off. Evening, Aidan. Hope you're doing well. Evening? It's afternoon. What am I talking about? Right. Sparky, how are you doing, my friend? I hope all is good with you. Okay, something else we need to do. You'll notice that line is white, and on the FMS we've got no distances, so we just need to cycle. You might not have to do this if you don't have the TDS. I don't know if you have to do it with the PMS, but with this one I have to just click on home, and that cycles all the bits and bobs, so you can now see 43.7 nautical miles, and this is blue, so that's all set up. We're good to go. Cabin ready for takeoff, so the crew in the back are okay, and now we can get going. What I will do is let's get prepared for if it does get nasty. Let's have that one. There we go. Okay, right. So wind 5 knots coming from the behind. Does that correspond with what we've got there? Yeah, so that's all good. Okay. So cyclic trim on. Cyclic trim release, I should say. Shut up, concentrate on flying. So this is live weather. As you can see, the viz is not particularly great, but we will live with it for the time being to add a bit of realism, and then if we want to do some sightseeing we can always knock it off. Okay, let's focus. I'm being a little bit naughty taking off with a tailwind, but it's 5 knots and I'm not going to worry about that too much. I'm not going to mess about. Just keeping an eye on things. Picking up some speed. Watch what you're doing. So yeah, that's the really cool thing about the random and anywhere mod, is that you can do the random bit, or if you want, you can use the programming, the technology, the assets, whatever you want to call it, to have a bit more control over what you want to do. Okay, let's put her onto autopilot. Just knock it round, and we will connect that up so it's now flying the route, and then ever so gently I'm going to start getting us some height, because funnily enough we're heading towards lumpy bumpy bits and we don't want any issues there. See the helicopter's crabbing a bit because of the wind. So, quick check of the chat. Joel, hope all is good with you. Centurion, talking about FPS, has anyone tried pop-out manager? I want to use it for the H145 tablet. I get severe FPS drop. Okay. No, mate, I don't use that. I'll be honest with you, I'm not entirely sure what it is. I should spend a little bit more time looking at different add-ons and that sort of thing, but as I don't tend to do reviews, I don't tend to kind of keep on top of the latest bits and bobs. Plus, certainly at the moment, I'm trying to keep my sim clean with how many add-ons I have on until things are a bit more stabilised. Although I've got to say, with this update, I mean the visibility isn't that great, so you can't see a huge amount. But with this update, certainly performance seems to be quite good. I was finding before that in certain kind of weather conditions, a bit like this, when it's a bit misty and that kind of stuff, the weather was a bit rubbish. So there we have our drone. Let's have a quick check. It might be too close. Ah, Aidan. So Aidan usually flies the backup Chinook, which we use for tea and biscuits and medals, but today he's in, I don't even know what that is. I know it comes with Flight Sim, but I'm not entirely sure what it is. But it's very futuristic. We need a 202 Squadron repaint of it. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that makes sense. That would be kind of cool, actually. Yeah, having the tablet. What would be really cool is to have like that mission tablet now, have it actually on my iPad here. That would be quite useful. Right, just concentrate on our altitude. I'm just going to give it a little bit more. I'm so busy chatting to you, I forgot to keep it going. Just being very gentle. I'm keeping the speed at 80 knots, just above VY, and although we could do some testing, and just keeping the climb on now. Something I noticed in the previous version of the sim was that helicopters seem to be quite prone to over talking, and this one in particular would, if you're going too fast, when you tried to change the height on the autopilot, it would immediately start wigging out. So we can experiment with that a little bit later. The backup drone. Aidan, how many packs of biscuits can you get in that, mate? I don't think as many as the Chinook. Although it probably looks like it's got reasonable lifting capacity. Okay, how's that doing? So I'm just using, on my cyclic, I'm just using the cyclic beep hat to change the altitude there. You can see the little green arrow, or carrot, whatever you want to call it, just on there. Keeping it at 80 knots, although I'm tempted to see what difference it makes now. Let's just increase the speed a little bit. Yeah, it's not too bad. It doesn't seem to be quite as sensitive as it was before. I tell you what I am going to do actually, because this one isn't going to start shouting at us, it's quite handy to have, there we go, just have that on there. We can also actually stick it on there as well, so we've got a bit of both. So I've now got the TORS on the MFD in the middle, and I've also got it on the GTN, so I've got dual lumpy bumpy bit warnings. Can be done in the sim to right alt and left click on the screen you want to pop out. Okay. I was going to show you where we were. How rude of me. Let's see if I can do this and remember to pop it back again. So, let's see if this works in 3, 2, 1. There we go. So that's where we are. Kind of northeast of Scotland. So we've got Inverness over here. Lossie is just on the coast here. You've got Glasgow down here, Edinburgh over here, and we are heading into the Cairngorms National Park, which is here. And I'm kind of expecting us to end up round about here. But there you go. That gives you an idea of where we're heading to. Lossie is a beautiful place. Look at that, golden beaches. It's like, well, it's not. I was going to say it's like being in the Maldives. It's not like that at all. But it's very nice. It's very nice. Right, let's remember to go back to stream. Good God. For once, I've remembered to switch it back so you weren't staring at the map for the rest of the flight. So, a quick look. Let's get back on mission. Let me lock off the... There we go. So, let's have a look at here. So, 29-year-old female, that's what we're missing. Reported missing person during hiking. Search and rescue is required. Waiting information about rescue vehicle's presence. Symptoms, internal bruising. Search and rescue received position is the last position before contact lost. Exact location is actually unknown. So we are going to have to keep an eye out for her, see if we can find her. So what this is simulating here, you see it says waiting information about rescue vehicle's presence. If you think about it logically, someone is missing up in the mountains, you probably can't drive an ambulance or a police car or a fire engine up there. So there isn't anything there at the moment. If the casualty's location was known and was in a more accessible location, then it would be saying to us now, you know, ambulance now on scene or fire engine now on scene. And this is what I love about this, because it's so immersive. Missions are different. You never know what it's going to throw at you. You never know what it's going to do. You never know if an ambulance is going to get there, stabilise the patient, and then you arrive and you do what you need to do and then you go, or whether you're going to have to take the patient to the hospital, or whether your doctor is going to get off the aircraft, go see the patient. The patient's going to be transferred by ambulance, but your doctor may go with the patient to make sure that everything's okay, and then you go and pick him up from the hospital. Because essentially this is HEMS. So HEMS is a little bit different from a kind of a basic air ambulance, in that we have the medical expertise on hand to bring the hospital to the patient, and that's why we've got highly qualified doctors and pilots to do that job. Talking to highly qualified pilots, I should really be checking on what the helicopter's doing. There we go. Right, quick look down. So that's okay. We are heading into the lumpy bumpy bit. My God, what was that? Is that the drone? I'm going to say that's very... I guess because the rotors are tilted forward. I was just going to say it can get some speed on. Centurion. Do you know what? It's funny you should say that. It's funny you should say that. That has happened to me, and it is actually quite gutting. And it's actually one of those points where that you... And I always kind of think of this, without wanting to get too serious and soppy and all that sort of thing, the fact that people do this for real, and it's an incredibly important, serious job. And it is people's lives that are at stake. And when you're flying a mission and someone does pass away, even though it's just a simulator, some people would say, "Oh, it's just a game, it's just a game," but you get so invested in it that somehow it is a little bit like, oh, gutting. I've got to say, huge respect for pilots that do this kind of stuff, to fly the helicopter whilst in the back they are working on someone who could well be dying. You've got the pressure of safely operating the aircraft, but knowing that, you know, every second that you can shave off the flight, you are, you're saving the patient. And talking of shaving seconds off flight, I'm so busy waffling to you, I haven't increased the speed. Look at that, we're whistling along at about 85 knots. And the lads in the back will be saying, "Good God, mate, get a wiggle on." So let's just gently increase some speed. You can see the red lines appearing to the left. The one we really need to worry about is the topmost one. Bottom one is more to do with if you've got one engine failure. That's the kind of your maximum power that you've got available. The top one, if we go above that, then we start getting warnings that we're over talking the engine. Anyway, how is everyone? It's good to see you again. It's good to be streaming again. I should say it has been a little bit quiet on the channel recently. Oh, it's starting to clear up. How beautiful. We're going to get to see some scenery. Yeah, it's been a bit quiet on the channel the last couple of weeks. My work life has suddenly got very, very busy, and I'm having to spend a lot more time with that. And also, there's things going on with the family, so doing things with that. And I think moving forward, certainly because of my work, I'm not sure how often I'm going to be able to post kind of pre-made videos, but certainly streaming is a lot easier to do because there's no hours worth of editing and all that sort of thing involved, and it's great fun, and also it's a nice way to chat to you guys as well. So yeah, I think moving forward, certainly for a while, there might be more live streaming than actual edited pre-made videos, but we'll see how it goes anyway. But I just thought I would let you know that, in case you think, where the hell's he gone? The work shy fop is doing nothing on his channel. That's the reason, really. not as much time as I used to. I mean, it used to be busy enough, but yeah, last couple of weeks things have ramped up considerably, and also to the point where I don't always know when I'm going to be free, so that makes things a bit more difficult. Anyway, for God's sake, stop waffling about your personal situation, lad. Get on with it. So just as I said that it was clearing up a bit, it looks like Viz is going to drop again. There we go. We have our our RAF issue Bonanza stroke Mooney. I think it's Bonanza. Not entirely sure. I have no idea what that is, but I suspect I've got. Let me just lock it off a second, and then I can start moving. Look, lock it off. No, that's interesting. Why is it not locking it off? Okay, let's concentrate on that up ahead, shall we? So you can see we've just had a chime come in warning us about over torque. So I'm just going to watch that. Speed is a little bit high to climb, so I'm just coming back on the speed and at the same time putting a bit of climb in. We can see looking down there at the tours on the GTN that it's giving us a red warning. So we'll just put a little bit of climb in, and let's see if I can. Oh, it's gone. That must have been a figment of my. Oh no, there it is. It's interesting. There we go. No, come on, lock it off. Well, my pause. Not eye tracking, head tracking seems to have decided not to work anymore. Okay, so let's see who is the culprit. Yeah, I knew it. It's Guy. Guy, are you? You're in your links, aren't you? I still haven't got that in my sim for model matching. Right, what we got down
500.
Here? Yeah. Keep an eye on that. We are now most definitely getting into the lumpy bumpy stuff. We're going to just whistle across the top of this, scare the walkers. There we go. And we're coming into the I know this is pathetic because this is only a simulator. I'm sitting in a spare room at home, but I do get a little bit excited flying into this area. So you can see there, Grandtown on Spey is kind of over there, and we're just coming into the kind of heart of the Cairngorm National Park. So shortly I will take us off autopilot. Yeah, visibility definitely getting worse. So search and rescue obviously means that we've got a search element to it, and one of the great things about this mod again is that obviously we can look out as the pilot, but also your crew will look out as well. So many different facets of this that are incredibly clever, and if I can't see it but the crew spots it, they'll tell us. So you can concentrate on piloting the helicopter as your main priority, obviously, because it's a bit embarrassing if you bang into a hill because you're looking out, but the chaps in the back will also have a look as well. So what I'm going to do now is let's just take that off, and I'm going to take off the autopilot. Just adjusting the collector there. I knocked while it was while the helicopter was on autopilot. I knocked the collective lever, so when I just took it off autopilot, it had a little wobble. So we're coming up on our area now.
500
down there. I'm interested to see what the terrain looks like. I noticed when I first got 2024, there were a lot of shadows around the Cairngorms that were kind of like almost like a, what's that colour? Is it teal? Like a very vivid blue. Almost like a cobalt, a light cobalt blue. Yeah, cobalt is nothing like teal, is it? Vivid kind of blue. And then during the winter that changed. So I'm interested to see what it looks like now. Right, let's chop a bit of height in. We've slowed up a bit. I took it off autopilot, but we were just flying on trim.
500.
How we doing? You alright, sunshine? Yes. Another day in 202. I swear he's getting just a little bit chirpier as the missions go on. I don't know if he's got slightly more confidence in me as the aircraft captain, but see that little smile? There's a little smile at the corner of his mouth. He's trying very hard to hide it, but it's there, I can see it. Can't hide it from me, matey. Right, lost some speed because I was climbing there, but we need to get a wiggle on. See, the hills are getting much taller. I do love the definition of the detail of the scenery in 2024. The ground detail is just absolutely astounding. And it's funny, I've said it a few times. I really miss the old A2A Warbirds, especially the P51 and the T6. And the other day I was almost about to install P3D version 5, which is the last one I got, just to fly them, but it's so difficult to get used to the old P3D scenery again. And even if you've got the Orbex GB packs, I'm talking the P3D ones, not the POI ones that are in Microsoft Flight Sim, it just isn't the same. So yeah, at the moment I'm just very carefully trying to keep some speed up and also just watch the height, and also just watch I don't over torque the engine. Things that what are pretty basic to a professional helicopter pilot, but sometimes I do forget myself and start doing some silly things. So a quick time check. God, it's amazing how quickly the time goes. I don't think I've got a timer in front of me that shows me how long I've been streaming, but oh yeah, 44 minutes. 44 minutes! Anybody who is still with the stream from the beginning, I salute you and thank you for joining. And if you're new to the channel, hello. It's great to have you along. Could someone do me a favour in the chat and type !Discord, please? I'd be most grateful. So we'll just keep going up the valley. So we've still got a bit of snow on the mountains, which of course is true. You can actually, there's a couple of places where you can actually still have a little bit of snow in the middle of the summer. In fact, there was a bit of a, thank you Guy, thanks very much for that. There's the Discord link. If you're not in the Discord and you want to join up, come along and say hello. Yeah, there was a bit of a hoo-ha because they'd noticed that the snow was actually it actually thawed. It's usually there all around the year, but it had actually thawed. There was a nice lock there. Let's see if I can quickly, now we're getting a bit closer. That was says the River Avon, but it wasn't. This is the River Avon now, according to the map. Right, let's just watch where we're going. Up in the hills. Now you can see up there we've got that red circle, so that is our search area. So we'll commence a search pattern. Let's have a quick look down here. Sorry about that. Just looking at another screen. How rude of me to ignore you. So far, I gotta say, it's quite nice. We're not seeing any bright blue shadowing.
We will be first on scene.
Where you get those baked-in shadows. I should say that's a US Air Force exchange pilot that we have with us on the crew. Yeah, it was the baked-in shadows that were bright blue, I should have said. So it'll be interesting to see what this is like.
$500.
Now, I think from here, I wonder if it'll be Aberdeen Hospital we go to. If so, we might be able to buzz Balmoral. I don't know if... Sorry, got distracted by something there. Yeah, I don't know if King Charles is in residence at the moment. I don't think he would be. But we might be able to give that a buzz. So we are, here's the circle coming up now. I think last time I did this I kind of did a flower petal thing, but we'll do something a little bit more conventional in terms of our pattern. See what we can look out for.
I set a possible hospital destination for our patient. Infos are available on tablet. We can confirm or change later.
Thank you. Right. So
500.
Just going to come off on the speed now, and then we can have a mooch around. See what we can see. If there's anything obvious. So we'll just do a slow search pattern. Keep our peepers open. If you see anything, shout. This is interactive. It's an interactive stream. You are now my crew, sitting in the back. On the edge of it here. Of course, the people that are joining me on the multiplayer can't see the assets, so for them they won't be able to see bits and bobs. But stuttering there. Something was obviously loading in. Oh. No. Just, where is it? I think that's just something in the scenery. Yeah, damn. Thought I saw something there, but it's just in those rocks. Yeah, that's another thing I love about 2024 is that you get those nice rocks in. Definitely getting a bit of stuttering going on. So I think what I'll do now is we'll head over to this side. Yeah, I'm thinking that stuttering must be. I wonder if it's trees loading in. Speed. Of course, it could well be that the hiker has kind of spawned in the trees. Just realised I'm kind of losing some visibility over the edge here because I'm flying so low. So let's just have a quick check over here. Thank you, Guy. Now the question is, what service have you brought for us today in the links? Do we have Marines? Do we have Army? It has made it, actually, the scenery in 2024 has made this a lot more interesting because the rocks, there's so much more detail on the ground now that it's that little bit harder to spot. Look at that scenery, isn't it gorgeous? This is what it's all about. This is why I wanted to do a custom mission, because I wanted to get us in the mountains doing a good old traditional 202 search and rescue operation. So yeah, I want to get back over here. So down here where we've got these trees, that's kind of prime. Exactly the kind of place our missing hiker could be hanging out in. Got the old camping stove out, brewing up a cup of tea and a pot noodle, not realising that His Majesty's Royal Air Force are out looking for him. There's the circle. Okay, so we're just on the edge of it there. There's the river. So you could actually start applying a bit of logic to it. Would a missing hiker follow a river? You can see a path there, so again that kind of makes sense. I actually don't know if the mod is that clever. That's interesting. So we've just got the square come up with the dot. That means we're nearby, and that means that it's there. But you would normally get, if the crew had seen them, you'd normally get a call out saying that they've spotted. But
I believe we found something. Check on town.
there we go.
Yes, confirmed. We found our target.
Well done, chaps. So the map got there a little bit before the crew did. So let's have a look, because I didn't see anything. That stuttering is... Ah, okay. That stuttering is related to the tours. Yeah, it's related to the tours. Let's turn that off. Turn that off. And my monitor has just come up with the automatic shut-off thing, so we'll get rid of that. So hopefully I've just killed the stuttering. Let's see. Isn't it funny how you spend so much time with the Sims having to sorry, I'm concentrating and talking at the same time, having to troubleshoot. Right, where is our hiker? There.
We are reasonably close.
Okay, so we are going to hoist.
Rear crew, prepare for hoist operations.
We could land, but we're going to hoist.
Opening door, preparing for hoist operations. Extended.
So I'm going to manually fly us. See the... Yeah, sorry, bear with me. Let me concentrate a second.
50 meters. 20.
There we go. Okay, so we've got it in hover mode. We've gone over slightly.
We are too high.
Just turning the nose around. So I'm doing all this with the autopilot now.
Too high.
I'm flying using the beep switches. So I'm putting in inputs now using the beep switch to rotate the nose.
We are too high.
Conscious that we're hoisting on the right hand side here. So I just want to get us back a little bit. Keep it going. You can see our crew are calling out, giving us feedback.
We are too high.
Keep it going. Keep it going. When I first started flying the H145 doing this sort of thing, I did all this manually
We are too high.
because I wanted to learn how to fly the helicopter. But as several real-world pilots pointed out to me, that wasn't very
We
realistic.
are too high.
So I'm just now using the beep on the cyclic just to move us forward.
We are too high.
I have control of the collective though, so I'm just bringing that down a little bit, just nudging us forward. You can't see it, but I'm just blipping the hat on the cyclic just to
Height
give
is good.
us some motion. He's called out height is good.
Position is good. Hold position.
Okay. So let's jump outside.
Operator is getting close. Hold position.
Well done, lad. Brave boy. Right, he's off the hook. Checking the helicopter. That's going back up. So we got one man down. He's waiting for his mate. There's his mate. There's the Lodi, making sure everything's all right. I love this. There we go. Hook back up. Just quickly checking the helicopter. Let's just jump back in. I just want to make sure it's not. Okay, so that's all quite stable.
Once it's clear.
That's all nice and stable. So let's jump back outside and we'll come down. So the lads are going to start walking over now. So here's our hiker. Yeah, she's just lying there looking up, lying in the heather, looking up at the beautiful sky, thinking, why are these idiots coming and messing up my chilled out walk? As you can see, the RAF are so skilled and so special that they actually walk on air. The crew members actually hover as the helicopter does. This is a feature that came in the 90s. So they'll work on her now. No sniggering at the back. Let's get back in the helicopter. So now that they're working on her, we're going to start getting a bit more information coming in. Have we got anything at the moment? Not a lot. Still staying waiting information about rescue vehicles. Well, no one's got here because we have, because we're the RAF. God damn it. Let's go to medical diagnostics. High Ground Mountain. Status upon medical arrival. We haven't got anything there yet. So at the moment the guys are assessing her. So I'm going to keep it on that page and we'll see if it changes. Right, I need to catch up with the chat. Guy, I brought a group of mothers and wives as they always seem to be able to find whatever it is that the men and children in the household have lost. So true. So true. In fact, why did they not think of that years ago in search and rescue, eh? Could have saved a lot of time and a lot of money doing it that way. Centurion, scenery is looking fantastic. It is, isn't it? It's Scotland. It's the Highlands. Damn it. It's beautiful. Flying helicopters in this sim up here is just fantastic. And I've got to say, congratulations to the autopilot. Holding her very nicely. Right, that's just changed. What have we got? Status upon medical arrival responsive. So they've managed to have a chat with her and say, you're right. Now they've slapped on some equipment, so we've got a heart rate. We've also got an oxygen rate. Let's see if I can... There they are, they're down there. I don't know if you can see them, but if I try and center them in the screen, they're just working on it down there. Yeah, so in this kind of situation where we're hovering, we're using a lot of power. As you know, I'm not going to start giving you a lecture, because who am I to give anyone a lecture, especially on technical stuff? God. But helicopters, you get transitional lift when you're actually moving forward, because the rotor is a spinning wing. So when we're just hovering like this, the aircraft is having to work even harder. So this is where we're really kind of putting stress on the engine and burning and that sort of thing. So we might, in the real world, we might have flown off at this point, but I just wanted to keep an eye on what's happening, and also just have a good old test of the autopilot to see how it was working. But yeah, the scenery is absolutely
Doc prefers that ground operations are almost done.
stunning. There we go. So that's the doc. I don't know if you heard that.
High.
Doctor saying that everything's looking tickety-boo with what they're doing. So I'm just going to lower the collective slightly, and we'll just drop it down a little bit further. You probably heard there that they're giving us call-outs, saying we're too high. Being very gentle. I don't want to drop the collective too much.
Hold position. Height is good.
Okay, hold position. Keeping an eye on that. Just make
Stand
sure.
by. Hoisting preparations are in progress and nearing 50 meters. Set hover conditions. Hold position.
Holding! Hold position!
Hoist 3 to helicopter.
Hoist 3 to helicopter, thank you. So that's just telling us to make sure we don't leave anyone behind. Where are they gone? Here they go. They've got her on a stretcher. Or a board. So they're coming back now, and then let's, excuse me, a quick check of everything. That's good. Let's jump outside. Lads, you've left a yellow bag behind. There might be something in that, you know, like snacks. So let's jump down to the, sorry for the jerky movements, but let's get there. So there's the boys. There's our heli whopper. Slowly lowering the foot down. There he goes. Let's come back up. Helicopter's sinking by the looks of it, or is it? Yeah. Let's just jump in. There we go.
Hoist is up. Personnel is strapped in.
That's good. So we've got the patient in the back. there she is. Going down to get the last fella now. There goes the hook. Look at that, we've even got purple heather. How realistic is that? Jump on, boy. Whoa. Okay, there he goes. Okay, let's get ready to do our pilot thing. Maybe said something else then, but managed to censor myself. Right, so let's go back to the...
Look is in. Look move is retracted. You are free to leave hover.
Okay,
Cabin secured. Ready
so
to
we're going
fly.
to accept that. Quick check of everything. That's good. Get rid of that. We've got blue, which means that we are we're nicely established on there. And let's just wind it out. Yeah, we're going to Aberdeen. Oh no, we're going to Dundee. Good God. Okay, let's go to Dundee. And let's... Oh, it's a little bit naughty. It's a little bit against regulations, but we are going to go via Balmoral. So, knock off the autopilot. Need to start earning my money at some point. I've got trim release on now, or trim, cyclic trim release. So I have control. And we will go and have a quick look at Balmoral. Ah, that's interesting, guy. Yeah, do you know what? I mean, people have probably seen it. There's quite a few videos on YouTube of the Chinook guys in Afghan doing their thing, and there's one in particular. I think they had was it BBC documentary crew, and the chap got took a bullet to the face, or shrapnel to the face, and flew the Chinook back, and that's what it's all about. The RAF isn't all about 5-star hotels and endless summer balls. Right, I'm going a little bit too fast. I was getting a little bit too carried away there. I'm using my little nav map just to make sure I can see where we're going. The crew have briefed the casualty in the back that we're doing a little bit of sightseeing. Time check 25 to 2. So the reason why I'm doing a time check is because I'm potentially going to get called away. By the way, anyone who is in the Discord and doing the group flight tonight, I'm really hoping I'm going to make it. I am on call to help out with something. Ironically, medical nature. So I may not be able to make it. So if I don't make it, go without me. I'll be fine. I'll be fine, boys. Just leave me. And then at some point I'll just have to catch up on it. So here we are. We've got Braemar coming up on the head. Do you know what I should have done? I should have manually selected Aberdeen. What have we got? 35 miles to the hospital. Actually, do you know what? I should. Getting a bit carried away with the sightseeing. How's the bloody patient doing? So we got a life score of 70. 0 means this helicopter is no longer required for the bad reasons, and 100 means stop wasting taxpayers' money calling out search and rescue helicopters when you don't need them. So she's 70, which means that she's certainly on the better side of the situation, and she's got a assigned emergency code of 3, 3 means no risk to life. So just for the people out there that might be saying, oh, I think you'll find that actually in the real world a search and rescue or HEMS helicopter would not go sightseeing while a patient was on board. I am well aware of that. I'm well aware of that. We're in a simulator. It's a Sunday, chill out. We are flying in Scotland and we can do it. We can go and buzz Balmoral, because why not? Why not? Balmoral in this case, by the way, is injected with the Orbex POI pack, or I hope it's injected. I've not been here in 2024. We'll probably get there after all this and there'll be nothing there. That would be a bit embarrassing, wouldn't it? I know I keep saying it, but the detail in this sim is just goddamn beautiful. Look at the river there. It's almost, you can almost see the peaty water in the D. It's just the right colour. Beautiful. Beautiful. Right, let's concentrate. Nice castle there. Which one is that? Braemar. Of course it is. We're just flying over Braemar. Let's just concentrate on where we're going. Follow the D. Her patient condition just went to 71. So she's actually getting better. It's amazing what a flight on a Royal Air Force helicopter can do for someone's morale. Even though you've got an idiot up front flying it, it can really make him feel a lot better. Especially when it's painted yellow like this. It's a good positive colour. Reminds them of sunshine, laying on the beach. It's quite thick forest here. As we're a little bit lower than we were before, definitely below the tree line. GeoFS Gamer, can you fly in the Ardennes in Belgium? Do you know what? That's a very, very good point. I don't think I've ever flown there. I shall add it to my list of places I need to fly. Just following the road round. I will ignore that guy. We've got a quacky duck. That's all we need. Patient in the back saying, bloody hell, just take me back to the hill, leave me on the side. Okay. Now let's just wind. There it is, yeah. We just need someone in the chat now to sing the national anthem as we get a bit closer. If we could just have the national anthem, please, just in case the King is in residence, in which case the fact that we are about to fly over will piss him off slightly less. That's the theory anyway. Still not visual with Balmoral, but I know. Oh, I think I can see it now. I thought I was looking at the ground, but I can see something. I wonder if the Orbex has injected it. Don't think it has. I think we might have Dunder Mifflin. Interesting. We've got Dunder Mifflin. I need to check my just got generic Castle Mark III. I'll have to check. I thought I had my POIs installed, my Orbex POIs, but it doesn't look like I do, unless they've removed it. Right, well that was an utter waste of time. Complete and utter waste of time. He is, you're absolutely right. Yeah, I forgot about that. Qualified. At least his son had the right idea. I mean the chap that ended up at 2-2. So I'm just going to get us on course. Wonder why the I wonder if I need to reinstall my Orbex bits and bobs. Maybe the new update has knocked something out, because I know that the pack was in there before, because if you were on the stream last time we ended up going over Craig Ellicky, and Craig Ellicky bridge was in there. So yeah, right, let's just, there we go. So we're on heading mode for this to get us to Dundee. Whacking in some height. I think that was it. Was that a bumper sticker guy? Right, I'm going to have a... I hope this doesn't mess up the screen. No, it shouldn't do. Let's have a quick look at my community folder. Orbex landmarks, Great Britain North. Yeah. Okay, I'm not sure why Balmoral didn't show up then. It's in my folder. Just climbing again. Yeah, I thought so. Remember, Lossie was one of those postings that people either absolutely fell in love with or absolutely hated. And there was a quite a well-known. He became quite well-known in the First Gulf War. He had a rather splendid moustache. Appeared on TV a couple of times, but he had a bumper sticker on his car that said "Happiness is Lossiemouth in your rear view mirror," which I'm sure must have absolutely warmed the hearts of the locals whenever he drove into town. So at the moment I'm just, sorry, I'm kind of being quiet and boring, but I'm just looking there and I'm just gradually getting some altitude, because we've got a ways to go, so we can get above the hills and just keep going. And I'm trying to keep the speed as high as I can now that we've got the patient in the back. Although, oh, I thought we were going to crash the desktop then. We've got a condition of 73, so she is actually getting better. Any minute now she'll start saying that she wants to get out. Getting into a little bit of mist. Look down here, that's okay. See our red bars on the left are starting to creep up a little bit, or creep down rather. We're starting to creep towards them. That's all good, nicely stabilised. We've got no reds on the nose down there. I'm going to just going to increase our speed a little. .4 nautical miles. There's the red. Just gently blipping it. And also I'm going to gently, not quite as fast as I was before, but gently keep tapping on the collective beep trim just so that we keep a gentle climb in. Well done, Aidan. Nice position holding, old boy. Guy, where are you, fella? Being in a Lynx, he could be anywhere. .2, 50 miles, sorry, 50 minutes. Just going to give that the blip. Oh, steady,
Watch
steady.
out! Reduce collective!
There
now.
we go.
Watch out! Reduce collective! Now!
Okay,
Watch
let's
out.
take
Reduce
control
collective.
before
Now.
we break it. There we go. So that is what happens if you start dicking about with the speed when the helicopter is going quite fast, and you've got well, you don't even have to have a bit of climb in it, but if you start dicking about with increasing speed, you can very quickly, there he is, very quickly find yourself over talking. And I'm not talking about what's coming out of my cake hole. I'm talking about what we're asking the helicopters to do. But yeah, hopefully this kind of gets across one of the cool things you can do with this. You know, we've done plenty of streams and videos with random and everywhere where we've been doing the random bit. But what we've done here is use all the cool features of random and anywhere to actually custom the mission to what we wanted to do. As I said at the start, I wanted to do a kind of mission profile that they would have done in 202 into the hills, in all sorts of awful weather and at night, but we're doing it in quite reasonably good weather, and we can do that. We can select it to do that, but you can custom it so that you can do road traffic accidents. You can customize it so that you're picking a patient up and just transferring them to another hospital. There's so many things you can do with it, and the Random and Anywhere mod is free. And Andrea, who has built it, is constantly improving it and working on it. He's actually working on an update at the moment that simplifies that process we did at the beginning, where you just saw all those numbers and I was selecting it to get the mission we wanted. He's simplifying it so it's a lot more intuitive, but it's free. You have to buy the H145, you have to buy the H145 action pack, but once you've got those, what we're doing in terms of this Random and Anywhere and the mission that we're using on the tablet, that bit is free, and it just adds so much. It's how I tend to do most of my helicopter flying at the moment. I think on the last video I went through a little bit more in terms of all the different functions and things, but there's so much stuff on here you can customize. You can customize how many crew you've got, you can customize how they're winching, you can customize how far away you are to your your casualty is. You can customize how long the wait is while they are I was going to say repairing, while they are working on the patient. There's just so much you can do to it. It's incredibly clever. The fact that it's free is just mind-boggling. Of course, the advantage of flightsim.to is you can donate, and Andrea definitely deserves a donation to for all the work he puts into this, without a doubt. So this is the fairly kind of simple bit. We are just flying en route from where we collected the casualty to the hospital. It's as simple as that. A little bit of cloud building up now. We'll keep an eye on that. Nothing coming up with terrain, so that's all good. We have got our artificial or synthetic vision set up, so we can still get a good idea of what the ground's doing, but we've kind of come out of the high stuff now. We've come out of the high terrain, so it's all fairly simple. There's Guy back there. Guy, has he got any plans of adding it as a standalone? As far as I'm aware, he hasn't, because it's kind of intrinsic to the H145 or the H145 action pack as well. It kind of works. It's using oh God, I'm not a technical person, and I'm hopefully not getting it wrong, but my understanding of how this works is it uses the engine of the action pack and the H145, and it kind of injects parameters into it, and it gives you an interface of how to do that. And then also it's obviously doing some kind of control and mathematics in terms of is the patient deteriorating, what's their heart rate, what's their oxygen level. And as sometimes happens, and it hasn't actually happened to me in a while, but you've always got to be prepared for it, sometimes they'll suddenly give you a shout out saying you've got to land, we need to do CPR. So there's all sorts of stuff that the mod is doing, and I don't think, and I'm pretty sure that you wouldn't be able to do that with any other helicopter, because you need the high performance group software, the action pack, to be able to do that. But it would be kind of cool. I'd love to do this kind of stuff in the Llama or the Huey. That would be pretty cool. Yeah, no, I agree. I think I've not flown the career missions in 2024. I've not watched any YouTube videos or anything like that on it, so I don't know what they are like, but I would be amazed if they're anything like as in-depth and as immersive as this. Maybe some of the animations might be a bit better, I don't know, but in terms of how the mission actually runs, and what you're seeing, if you're seeing this for the first time, I should say, this is quite a routine basic mission. We haven't got a medical emergency, we haven't got a patient dying in the back, which is what you have a lot of the time. So this is all fairly simple. Yeah, and I'm not sure with the Microsoft inbuilt simulators how that mission simulators how that actually works. So we are well and truly in the clag now. I think we can actually afford to lose some height. So let's start blipping that down. Ideally, just want to remain in sight of the ground, or as we're up here at the Grund. I'm really sorry to anybody who is Scottish, who is on the stream and is thinking, oh, here we go, another Englishman doing the comedy Scots accent. My apologies. If it's any consolation, I'm an Englishman who wishes he was born in the Highlands. But there you go. polytunnelling going on down there. I presume that's polytunnelling. So interesting, it's taking us to Dundee. I think I've been to Dundee before. Usually in this it's either Inverness, Raigmore Hospital or Aberdeen. But I have been to, I've had to go to Dundee once. But usually it's Inverness actually. How we do? Just going over Kirriemuir. Armstrong's Bar and Restaurant on the nose. Quick shout out for them. I haven't got a clue what their what wares they have, but that would be rather nice. Yeah, CT90, the area around Lossiemouth is great. Absolutely beautiful. It's hard to describe to anyone who hasn't been there, but if you imagine living somewhere where you've got mountains within you know, quite a reasonable distance, but also you have got beautiful sandy beaches and lovely peat coloured rivers. I mean, it is a paradise. It really is, for me anyway. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I absolutely love it. To walk on the beach and the sunset, and then in the winter to see the snow on the mountains and those kind of extremes of weather. Yeah, it's quite something. So we are not far now. We are 10.2 nautical miles, 6 minutes from the hospital. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. I'll be honest with you, Guy. I mean, Somerset is a lot further than where I am, but I'm down in the Hampshire area, not many miles from Sandhurst and Aldershot, and for me to get to Aviemore, so to Lossie you probably add on about another hour and 20 minutes for that, but to get to Aviemore took about 11 and a half, 12 hours, but that was because I was in and feel free to open fire in the chat, I was in a fully electric car, which meant that I did have to do a couple of charging stops, but when I used to do it in a standard issue diesel, actually no, it was a petrol SUV hybrid, where you get like hardly any electric miles at all. It used to take about 10 hours, something like that. 10 hours to Aviemore, so again added an hour and a half on, an hour and 20 minutes maybe to Lossie. Actually, I don't think it takes that long to get to Lossie. It takes, I remember it takes a lot more than you'd think it would looking on a map to drive it, but yeah. So a quick check, we can see our kind of reserve main tank there is getting quite low. Our active tanks are doing okay. We've got 37 minutes of fuel left, so we are going to start getting low fuel warnings. Oh, there we go, main fuel low warning already, but that's fine. We're going to we will land at the hospital, and then we'll knock it off for the mission. What we would do if we were spending a bit more time, we'd probably then hop to Dundee Airport, which is just up the road from the hospital, refuel, and then carry on. And the other thing you can do with this is, once you've completed your mission, it will offer you another mission. So you could literally do this for hours and hours and carry on. We've been streaming now for what, 1 hour 35 minutes, so I don't intend to do that. One of these days I am going to probably do a mammoth day of streaming, where we just do loads of missions like this, but we're not going to do that today. Right, so we're going to reduce height now. Quick look at the wind, see what the wind's doing. Wind's on the nose at this height anyway. I've had situations before where I plan an approach to the hospital based on what the wind is doing at a not too high altitude, only to find that 500 feet above the ground suddenly wind direction does a 180, and that's interesting when you're trying to concentrate on what you're doing. Right, so let's go back to dispatch screen. Let's go back to map, close POI, follow aircraft, Dundee on the nose, getting quite close now. Going to cancel autopilot now, so just checking I've got all my controls where I should be. So autopilot off, just checking our rate of descent there. There we are. Checking our speed because we are getting close. Using the main map as my indicator, wind directions now coming from our left. 6 knots by the looks of it on average. So I'm going to just come over here.
2 nautical miles from the hospital.
Yeah, absolutely, Guy. You could do so much. And sorry, I didn't say it before because I started waffling about times. The road trip is absolutely worth it. Once you get to the Lake District and you start heading up, it's just it takes a day out of you the leave that you've taken, but it's worth it. It's beautiful. So Viz is pretty pants, but not too bad. Just looking at the FPS. The FPS has dropped a little bit, I can see, so that might present a bit of a challenge. Just watching the wind direction. Forgive me if I go quiet, but I do need to concentrate a little bit, or at least pretend to concentrate. What I'm doing is just looking at the
Rear crew, we are approaching the landing site.
looking at the wind speed and direction, and also judging by the dot where I kind of want to position the helicopter.
500.
Now, I'm now trying to remember, did I come to Dundee in this sim or the last one? In which case, I wonder what this helipad is going to look like. I think, is that it? Yeah, I think that's it on the nose. Let's have a look. Now, this should have Epic Fools. I've got Epic Fools Scottish helipads. So I would imagine that that's probably one that he's put in. It won't look as good as this unless you have this mod. But that looks suspiciously like the helipad to me. I have no idea, Centurion. I don't use FPS counters. I tend to go off how it feels, to be honest. Because I don't want to be chasing an FPS number. I just want it to look good to the eye, as it were. So I haven't got a Scooby. I could just feel it's just a little bit, just ever so slightly. I mean, I would hazard a guess it's somewhere around maybe 25. I've got it capped at 60. There's our hospital crew. Just removing the tablet there. Yeah, I mean, so you can see, I don't know if you can see, but the it's ever so slightly jittery as we're coming into the pad. It's not quite as smooth in terms of FPS as I'd like it to be for this kind of thing, but I think that's because of the mist. And I'm just being ever so cautious. That's the kind of thing I hate, the stutter just as you're coming in, and it just kind of throws that nice smooth descent.
Rear crew, prepare for ground operations.
Hang on lads, don't get too hasty. Drifting a little bit, steady on. Yeah, I've kind of lost the interesting.
Oh, nice touch, Captain.
Wasn't really, mate, but thank you. I know you're just trying to make me feel better. We've landed right on the edge of the helipad. I always find landing helicopters is a little bit like, and God, anyone who watches the channel is going to get bored stiff by me saying this, but it's very much getting into like a meditative state. Ah, we've got an H145. Look at that, wonderful. Yeah, and if you lose that focus, all of a sudden you can start drifting a little bit here and a little bit there, and then you start overcorrecting and you get into pilot-induced oscillations of all sorts of things, which is kind of what happened there. So who we got in the H145? 202 livery as well. Hawkwinds. Very nice choice there. Very nice choice. So there they are. The hospital crew getting ready to load up our hiker. Now that's interesting. I don't know if you can hear it. I'm looking at the wind on the little nav map is negligible. It's saying 1 knot, but I'm hearing gusts. So I wonder if we've got gusts, and that's why. No, it's probably the drone up there, isn't it? It's like an engine sound coming in. Right, let's pop this open. So just very quickly now, the hospital crew are taking the patient away, and then also you can see my crew over there going into the paperwork, and they're doing the handover. So again, this is what it's simulating. My crew, my doctor going in with the hospital staff so that he can do a handover to the doctor in the emergency ward to say, right, you know, we did this, we gave them these drugs, this is what their heart rate was, this is what happened to them, blah blah, so that the receiving medical team have got as much information as possible to get them on their way. So there we go. And if you didn't want to bother doing that, if we wanted to just get flying now, we could skip paperwork and we could head off to Dundee. In fact, what's the time? Shall we just quickly fly to Dundee? Shall we fly? I mean, it's literally just up the road. So we could fly up there. I can't remember if I've got my Orbex Dundee loaded in. I probably haven't. But we could at least land there, and then we could shut everything down as if we're going to refuel. To hell with it, let's do it. Let's do it! I need the landing practice as well after that. So we're skipping paperwork. Come on, get back in. Stop messing about. We will. I'm not even going to bother loading it into the sat nav. I can see on the little nav map it's literally
Secured, ready to fly.
literally just over there. Interesting texture thing going on there. Right, everyone on. So what we'll do is we'll end the mission. And it's just all the cogs are whirring. Submit report. Quick check of fuel. Certainly got enough to get us to Dundee Airport. So that's all good. That's all good. That's fine. Engine instruments. Fine. Let's have engines to flight. And then I'll just go here. We're going to end that and just go back to the standard map. You can fly to the nearest rig to show us you. Oh, blimey. Guy, you had to go there. I don't know where the nearest rig is. Is there one relatively close? What's the time? If there's one relatively close, I'm more than happy to give it a shot. Tay. There's the hairy port. Yeah, I don't think I have got my orbits one loaded in. Where's my stick loose? Oh, really? Yeah, I need to load in my Orbex Dundee. Okay, so the Viz is... I'm not going to find a platform with this Viz, so let's just quickly... take off that. And let's have... So, you reckon there's a platform up here somewhere? Oh dear. Oh no, we got it back. Ah, okay. Hokey cokey. See, is that a container ship? See the difference the weather makes with being able to sightsee. It's a lot nicer for looking out when you get rid of all that nasty cloud. But yeah, going back to what I was saying, that's one of the other things I love about helicopters is that kind of zen state you need to get into when you're landing. It's beautiful. It's when everything is in balance. The rate of descent, the speed, well, what are you doing with the collective, what are you doing with the cyclic, everything is in balance. And then suddenly something throws that, and all of a sudden you're, instead of you being at one with the helicopter, you are all over the shop. There is a platform and there is a helipad. What's the wind doing? Okay, this is doable. So, I want to get into a position where I've got good visibility of the rig. Because funnily enough, that comes in handy. Right, let's do it. Guy, that almost sounds like a song. With the eyes of Dundee upon him. Yeah, let's stop right there. Love the detail on this rig. I've got to say, MSFS did what Aerosoft couldn't do. And actually, their rigs, all their rigs, look pretty nice, I think. Certainly the ones I've seen. Yeah, why does my phone have to start pinging just when I'm doing this? See, this is the bit I love. This is what I love about helicopters. Now, is it going to do the platform jump that it was doing before the update? There we go. Beautiful. Look at that detail. So cool. Love it. Right. So there we go. So we're going to change of plan. We're going to steal some fuel from the boys here. I can see some over there. We've got some red fuel cans over there. So, or red fuel drums, I should say. Let's use the correct terminology. Otherwise, they're not going to take you seriously when you jump out and say, "We got a few quid. Can we buy some of them drums of fuel from you?" If I said cans of fuel, they'd think, "Who's this guy? He's clearly not a qualified pilot." Yeah. Anyway. As always, wonderful to have you guys on the stream. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much if you have been with us since the beginning of the stream. If you've watched the whole thing, that's very good of you. I am just going to quickly pop in the chat the Discord link. If you're not in the Discord and you'd like to join, the link will be appearing any second now. And it would be great to see you. And the guys that are on the group flight tonight that are in the chat, I hope you have a fantastic flight. I really do hope that I will see you. It's going to be a beautiful flight in Warbirds up through the Lake District, up through Scotland, up to Sumba on the second leg of the group flight tour. Yeah, hope to see you there, but we'll see. But anyway, thank you for joining the stream, and I look forward to seeing you on the channel again very soon. Take care now. Bye bye.